Maria Timula, my name is NoNo, and welcome back to Wani Hug That Gator. We left off leaving the group from the cafeteria and heading to the computer lab to do something with the treasurer, but I forget exactly what it is. It's been about a day since I've been able to sit down and continue this experience. So, the computer lab is an offshoot room from our library. As for the library itself, aside from an unexpected emphasis on anatomy drawing guides and the like, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior years had a library with 2 floors. Ooh. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. The calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the halls, forming a panopticon. That is a fucking Transformers name, around the desk reserved for the teacher in the middle. I remember them being organized differently in elementary school, but for a few years now I've just been seeing this formation. Sounds to me like someone got caught one too many times working on more risque art pieces. The monitors are all turned on, but there's only one logged in. Weird, there's nobody here. Damien and Ben said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom. I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen, I see open PDFs and documents. They look finance-related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create my account on my own. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Ah! Haunted high school... I, didn't mean to scare you. Oh. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really, what were you doing to the fiscal report I was working on? I didn't do anything! Jesus Christ, bitch, you got neck for days! I do not want to see you deep-throat something. I would be terrified. I've been working on that all day. Why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right. I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Brachiosaurus furiously reopens all her windows and for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? Ben sent me. I wanted to submit something for the art contest going on, but I don't have my school login info yet. Ben told me you'd be able to help. Ben, huh? Well, Ben and Damien. She mumbles something beneath her breath and turns her head back to me. Yeah, I'm Liz. Whoa. Inco. But yeah, I'm new here, so I need an account. No problem at all. I'll just put my whole fucking neck down on this table. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles as she starts typing away at the keyboard. Alright, I'll see if I can get that done for you. In a flourishing display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had the general idea that there were a lot of shortcut commands, but yeesh, she's resourceful. So you're an artist too? Since you want to enter the contest so bad. Oh yeah, I'm a photographer. Yeah? How you liking it here so far? Well... Students here usually jump to asking about what they're graduating here for so they can more easily form connections and collaborate. So excuse me if I might be going too fast. No, not at all. I'm a bit more at ease now that you just explained it. It's pretty good, although I feel bad about missing most of the first day. It's not a big deal. I guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed in the hall by the principal's office. It does put out a bit of rain on my parade. Oh yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's like that by design, honestly. Something about breaking the students' egos. Then you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least that's what happened to me. I'm planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. And that's just the start. I'm also starting to become an apprentice for art dealings, getting the right paintings for the right people. My tutors said I'm impressive enough I should start enrolling for any and all of the important universities around the country I'd like. Wow. I mean, I'm also pretty well off myself, but it never occurred to me that I should be this ambitious. Thank you! How about you? I'm gonna be an influencer blogger and be crazy popular. I'm gonna publish a photography magazine. I don't know, but it's gonna be big. What would she be? She's super organized, and why would this even matter? Why would this matter? What is this choice? I don't fucking care. Think. What would the gator on the wheelchair want? Publish a photography magazine. Well, it's something. At least more than a lot of people here. What do you mean? Like, half the school may as well just be in a daycare. Sorry if that sounds rude. We've got these school programs and even industry professionals coming in for lectures, but it's like some people are here just because their friends happen to be here too. No big plans, it seems. Yeah. Wait, you mean like Damien? Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. He's still cool, though, don't get me wrong. I hope me talking about him to you like this doesn't come across as douchey. He's definitely the friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym class and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he was really excited about it, too. And then he introduced me to Olivia as well and tried... And then he introduced you to Olivia as well and tried to break the ice so she can come out of her shell? Whoa, what the what just happened? Apparently right-click opens the menu, everybody. Yeah, how'd you know? Oh boy, I'm sorry about that, Inko. What, is Damien messing with me? No, Damien's great. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Specifically, he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia. You can probably tell she's a bit unresponsive, doesn't really like to talk to anyone, not even Damien. So you can definitely try to be her friend, but just know that she'll most likely ignore you. You don't like Olivia? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sit with her during lunch after all. And I'm sure you'll get along with us just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. Damien will always be down to hang out, though, and I certainly don't mind. It's just that him and Olivia are nigh inseparable. So if the deal turns you off, then it's not your fault either. There's history to that warning. Inseparable? So they're like girlfriend and boyfriend? No. They just live in the same house. Oh. Damien's also just incredibly patient and outgoing. I envy him. But yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone getting along like best buddies. Unless you're like Damien and you can be pleasant to a brick wall forever, your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So, how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Something to keep in mind, then, I guess. It's a struggle, but like Damien says, we gotta keep trying, right? Liz gives me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Anyway, sorry for talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get that submission turned in? She stops for a second on one tab to scan for something. And got it. She motions her head to the back of the room at the printer as it hums to life. I get up and get the paper. Both my username and password here are strings of numbers. I take a snapshot of my username and password so I don't have to remember it. Thanks. Anyways, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Right. According to the time displayed on the monitor, I've got 10 minutes left. I followed the instructions on the printout, finally getting to the student hub on the site, and thankfully the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting my entry details as the name of the file and dragging it to the school's shared drive. Plugging in my portable hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus. Then a quick rename, drag it here, and... just in time. I take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Looking back to Liz, she's completely wrapped up in her work. Don't think interrupting her is a good idea. Especially after what she just said about Olivia in our own time. I opt to simply leave her be, heading out of the room in the library for class. After all, it's time for the class I'd been looking forward to the most. This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. I like how her typing is just her going... like she fucking jackhammering. Hope I didn't just jinx it for myself. It's the same classroom. My nerves have been acting up when I first stepped back into the classroom. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. Jesus fucking Christ. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Mr. Latican made a show of waving a freshly taken photo from my fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. I dubbed this portrait De Estuet Sans Poes. After he thumb-stacked the shot on a corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, Mr. Latican reassured me and sat me right next to Ben. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute instead of taking the majority of the time to go over our first lesson and assignment on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out and explained, I felt my mind swirl faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start with your first photography assignment, proper lighting. I'm salivating at the thought. Mr. Latican had just finished his lesson where he'd handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these things, like the enormous box light that was still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember, though, that these are just tools meant to enhance the photo. You can highlight a turd all you want, but it's still a turd. The crude language guarantees accord from the few half-listening students. The teacher looks over to the clock and hums. Well, I see that we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you take these last 10 minutes to compare notes? Maybe even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate. The room is quick to fill with the sound of chatter. I wonder if Hey! I turn to Ben and see his eager grin. Do you want to do a joint piece, since you don't know any good spots in the school and all? I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light on my desk and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one more student just takes a picture of the hallway outside the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them over a railing. Be original, please. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can even use 2 items. The offer is too tempting. Sure. I hold out my hand and Ben takes it and shakes it, sealing the pact. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today. But in truth, I'd been enjoying Mr. Latican's class so much that I couldn't stop. It feels like I have the entire world to gain from Mr. Latican's lessons, and the entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move I hadn't had time to actually explore Volcaldera Bluffs. Sure, on occasion I'll go out on my own to parks and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to photograph. And you know what? I've been meaning to do a little looking around anyway. So to everyone else, this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get to. Pretty sweet deal if I say so myself. The hall outside the classroom is the only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. Ben is really getting angry at me. No, the murals won't work on their own. Since it was my first thought to use them, that means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box a bit. Think of some way to use the school's architecture to my advantage in a way that... Ego! My thoughts are disrupted by a worried-looking Ben. Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Head injuries are no laughing matter. I'm fine. What were you saying? I'm asking how you were doing, you know, with school and classes now. Oh, right. Doing good. Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying and starting to make some genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. I've even got some new friends now. He was fucking at lunch, dumbass. What? Why? Great! Oh, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long-necked girl. Yeah, she gave me some login stuff and everything. Uploading the submission was a piece of cake, after all. Awesome! Though that does make you my competition now. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running, too. She told me she had submitted something. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have as much time to prepare anything, but... Hey, everyone's got a chance, never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it, too. The whole friend group was pretty welcoming. I think I'm pretty lucky. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed by my statement. You said something at lunch when Olivia vanished. I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her, too? No, not really. Wait, too? Who? Latican calls out to us, striding over to inspect. Oh, God. I take it you gentlemen are conversing about your assignment together? Oh, of course, Mr. Latican. We were just discussing where we take our picture, right, Ben? Well, that's good, then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off topic, like gossip. That would be pretty embarrassing use of your time right off the bat, I think. Especially considering you're currently the subject of some fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? I awash in a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben and I can see he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Latican has a point. Maybe once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. Alright, off you go now, and remember to get your assignment done by the end of the week. The room empties out slowly, most of my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignment. Before I can continue talking with Ben about our own project, the Stu co-president is already packed up and exiting the room. Guess we'll talk later then. Packing up my own notebook, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. You mean he's not teaching the next fucking class? He's taught all of our classes today. Where's the goddamn PE coach, man? Oh, we're in a different classroom at least. Walking into history class for the first time, it is about what I expect to look like. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I notice there's no distinct lack of a teacher in the class. Must be finishing up their lunch, I assume. Well, better get a good seat now before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny. This one. I settle myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook along with a pencil. As the classroom fills with more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. A few minutes pass, and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. Uh-oh. The suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quiet enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks in the classroom and... Yes! Oh, sweet heaven, no. He stands there and stares down at everyone menacingly. He's the history teacher, too? Thanks for walking to my classroom, Sully. Of course, Miss Prockling. Oh, I got excited. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus, he isn't our teacher. The Raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans around the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hands. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know that I introduced myself yesterday, but for any of those who weren't here, her momentary glance at me makes me believe Sully told her about my absence. My name is Miss Prockling, and this is my history class. In this course, we'll be learning about the history of our primeval ancestors, their advancements throughout history. You can even say that it'll be like going back in time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds with uninterested murmuring. Not sure why, though. This all sounds exciting. She walks over to her desk and places down her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of a button, she turns on the projector to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history... God damn it, I did it again. The extensive history of Saurians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you could turn your books to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter detailing the earliest interaction between Saurians and hominids. Ooh, that sounds interesting. They didn't want to make... the author didn't want to make up... I think I jinxed myself. Miss Prockling's history class is the polar opposite to Latican's photography class. While her introduction to the class engaged me at first, things have slowed down into an unbearably slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory text of the first chapter. Despite the tension between the two groups, human settlers to the New World would continue to make overtures to trade to the native Velociraptor tribes. Pretty sure I've read this line 3 times now. I tear my eyes away from the page in hopes of blinking the boredom away. I look up to see the teacher staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must have stared too long, though, because I ended up locked in a staring contest with Prockling. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay, then, write down notes of the pages 3 through 7 about the discovery of the New World. Without even fully comprehending the words before me, I'm copying down to the letter in my notebook. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall everything that's happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement and is easily my first pick as a photography partner. But that Mia girl, she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have figured that out from the cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damien's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. And though my encounter with Liz was brief, I bet I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends has been pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far, she's still an enigma, and coupled with the apparent history she has with the others, it makes me all the more curious about her. Liz said it would be a bad idea to get invested, but in the end it's effectively gossip and hearsay. This had come as something of a shock to me, but... And what do we have here, Miss Halford? The sudden voice of Miss Prockling snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head to see the teacher looking down at... Oh, Olivia Halford, okay. Wait a minute, Olivia's here too? As luck would have it, I share not 1 but 2 classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbook that I didn't even notice the girl in the wheelchair. She sits in the front row, diagonally in front of me. and I don't think she's noticed this strange twist of fate herself. Only the second day of the school year and already doodling in class again. She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like she's been drawing on it, though I can't tell what they are from where I'm sitting. God. Some of these sentence choices are odd. Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes? The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before leaning her head back down. While the teacher returns to skulking around the room, Olivia hunches over a notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one would do something like that with a totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. It's an attempt to get us all to focus, but I'm fighting a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. My jaw is clenched tight to suppress the loud yawn building inside, even as Miss Prockling skulks right past me. Just before my drowsiness can overtake me, though, I notice minute movement in the corner of my eye. Minute. It's minute movement. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room and down to scribble something down. The paper is then folded into a neat note, and I watch as the next person carefully unfolds the sheet and also scribbles on it, before folding and passing it right along. Curiosity thoroughly piqued, I'll wait anxiously in my seat for the paper to get to me. It's a dangerous game passing the note along so Prockling doesn't see. If I'm participating, does that make me... I didn't read that last part before I skipped. The student at my side makes this move to toss the note over. But Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slam my own paper over the page to cover it from sight. Miss Prockling continues to lecture about how the raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves or something like that. Tobacco was the fucking bridge built between raptors and humans? Alright. And as you can see on the board here, now! I lift my paper. Luckily, there's plenty of space left. As for what everyone else has drawn, a not-so-solid attempt at a race car. Rough sketches of some eyes, a bunch of doodles, names in various styled fonts that I could only describe as graffiti, and, of course, it's not high school if someone hasn't drawn a penis. Miss Prockling with stink lines coming off of her. Yeesh, better not get caught with this. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Maybe I'll try to break the ice a bit. Although I don't really know anything about her. Hey, can't hurt to try though, right? I can think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. Oh my god, I have to fucking draw? Oh, fuck. Hang on. Alright, this is going to be my poor attempt at drawing a crocodile. There's its eyes. There's its long mouth. And then it kind of widens down, and then we got its little feetsies. What is the alligator but just a really fucked up looking dog? And then it's got scales like that. And then we and then we erase that bit. There we go. And then teeth. There we go. Alright, I'm liking that. And then we speckle it a little bit. We speckle it a little bit. Speckles. Speckles are always nice. And then there's his nails. And then he's going to have a little spike on his tail. I know alligators don't have spikes on their tails, but that's fine. And then he's got to say something funny. I don't even like bananas. I just hate Donkey Kong. Alright, that's my best. I don't give a fuck. Give it to Olivia. She's gonna hate it. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to work with. But as I surreptitiously admire my work, don't admire that I have a long way to go. It feels like I'm getting mogged by the other doodles. Alright, Olivia's sure to like this. Miss Prockling can still turn around, alright. If I slip the paper over Olivia's shoulder, I won't have time to get up and risk getting caught. And here we go. It's a bit tricky and I hesitate, but the paper meets its destination. She doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Her tail's even swaying side to side. Huh? Alright, now she's gonna see my sketch and possibly think I'm cool. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much, so I could just also I'll be taking that. Miss Procklin snatches the paper from Olivia's claws. She holds her arms out. She takes a glance at the paper and cracks a small crack of a smile. God, these sentences are weird. Appears on her face before going back to its stoic visage. So, is this how you view Miss Halford? Procklin holds the paper up for all to see. Everyone in the class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I know that most of you are part of this as well. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignments when you're in class. It's the least you can do. We were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how come all of us are in trouble? I noticed Procklin looked down at Olivia for a moment before letting out a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day I let this slide, but I'm warning you now that I won't be so lenient the next time it happens. Otherwise, you'll end up like that last student who decided to be disruptive during class. What happened to him? Get a detention slip or something? Uh-oh. Miss Procklin pulls up the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She then takes out a walkie-talkie. Sully? Yep. Another hippie. Seat H4. Good job, soldier! Now, if we can continue, if we can't, let's continue. We're on the 2nd floor. I sink back into my seat and continue writing, mainly out of unadulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. Holy shit! My guy's got heat-seeking dodgeball powers. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one to pass her the note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Well, I can always apologize after class. Miss Procklin places the note and continues with her lecture for another half hour. With the 10 minutes of class left, I see Procklin look at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention as if she knew what she's already going to say to her. The teacher nods her head. Olivia grabs her backpack and shoves all her things into it. In silence, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls on out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations. Well, there goes my chance of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I decided to focus on writing my notes for the rest of the time left. Although I do wonder. She must have noticed my doodle. Did she just ignore it then? Class comes and goes, and I head back home on the metro. Ooh, Mr. Ferris, another day, another dollar. Though this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, I don't want my stomach to endure with that torture again. Instead, I just got a few hash browns from a fast food joint on the metro. That is equally as fucking bad, dude. I idly stroll through my feet as I usually do while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. It's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a pastor tried eating one once. Some of the vines are real, though. For some reason, they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not as tasty. Vegetarians don't eat grass on their lawns, after all. Right? Huh? He's back! Anyways, the lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inko. Good morning. Has work been going fine? It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. And I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have, although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, look at that girl at the end of the car there. The rat girl? They're all fucking dinosaurs. I don't know why I keep calling them rats and rhinos. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. I just mean as an example. Well, there's an event coming up I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. However, beanie. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. There we go, the coolest possible Ferris. Mr. Nito. Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with... I mean the The sunglasses would be a minimal commitment. The beanie I wouldn't immediately go for because a beanie with what he's wearing right now would not work at all. And the jacket is too far of a jump for him to... I'm gonna go sunglasses. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. Well, alright, I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about fashion a lot, though. Is that really everything about these days? Oh, of course not. What do you want to know about? What's YOLO mean? I've heard the term thrown around lately. That was like 5 years ago, man. Oh. Poor Mr. Ferris. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. Contemporary urban slang. Ah, art. Okay, everybody, I think I'm going to stop this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about I Wani Hug That Gator down in the comments below, and we'll continue this in the next episode. Peace for now. Bye!